Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. August is actually off to a great start. And it's great to be back. I took a little bit of a break, but in that break, I got to enjoy one of the funnest movies that I've seen in a long time. And I'm obviously talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, by now, a lot of you have seen it because it's the number one movie out there. It actually might end up being the number one movie of the year because this movie, is outstanding. If you are a fan of just comics in general, it's not about Marvel or DC. If you're just a fan of comics, this movie hit a home run in every aspect. And again, I'm not really going to do a review. There are tons and tons of reviews. I'm just going to talk about the impact of Deadpool and Wolverine, and especially because, what we've learned from this movie. I loved every aspect of this movie. There wasn't anything in this movie that I went, yeah, no. From start to finish, it didn't even matter with CGI. This movie was pretty good. And the impact of this movie, I've been talking about this for so freaking long. Giving a director and writers and producers freedom, liberty to do whatever the hell they want to do. And I love the fact that Ryan Reynolds, he fulfilled his vision. This is a Ryan Reynolds movie. Obviously, he does play Deadpool, but in every aspect, you can see his imprint, his footprint, his presence, his everything in this movie. And it is outstanding. From Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine and seeing him in the classic, comically correct Wolverine suit. I was geeking out seeing that. And then seeing him actually bring back characters that we've loved, like Blade, Wesley Snipes as Blade. What can you say? He's paying homage. Seeing Elektra, Jennifer Garner. A lot of people didn't like her in her solo movie as Elektra, but they loved her in when she did Daredevil with Ben Affleck. I did too. It was so awesome to see that. Gambit. Channing Tatum in his comically correct Gambit suit. Seeing the tons and tons of Deadpool variants. This movie was outstanding. It was outstanding in every way, but the impact of this movie will be felt like years to come. Because I've been talking about how a lot of these studios, Warner Brothers, to be specific, are so scared of doing things, of going there, not only just being R-rated, being raw and violent and brutal and whatever, but at the same time, they're so afraid of including comic characters. You saw what happened with Zack Snyder's Justice League. They refused to allow, even though he shot a version of Green Lantern, Jon Stewart, they refused. They actually told him no. Absolutely not. You see this is what I'm talking about. Deadpool didn't give a shit. Deadpool did not care. Deadpool said, you know what? We're doing everything. Everything that I want to showcase in this movie, I'm going to showcase. Every character that I want to bring back, I'm bringing back. I don't care what you say. This movie is going to have my vision, my imprint, and look at what's happened. You think the studio now says, you know what? We should have given you a blank check because this movie is going to make over $1 billion in 3 weeks. It is absolutely ridiculous, and we're here to see it. As a fan of comic books, I can't tell you how important this was in this day and age where you have so many movies that suck because either studios interfere with the movie or the directors are scared to take a risk. And here comes a movie that doesn't care, right? That goes the extra mile. You're sitting there going, what plot? You're moving from one scene to another. It feels like what the hell is going on here? It's like action on top of action on top of action. It's hard to put your finger on the basically. It's hard to really figure out what the hell this movie is about until you get to like 2/3 of it. You know what I mean? But even the first part of this movie, you're still captivated and you're still thrilled and you're still glued to your seat going, what in the world am I watching? But I'm loving every minute of it. I mean, to the studios, I think it goes without saying that this movie basically brought you back to when you were a kid. I mean, it not only captivated and captured that essence of you being a kid reading a comic book, reading multiple comic books, because you went from X-Men, right? You have references to the X-Men, you have references to the Avengers, you have references to the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? You have the Hulk, right? You have all these things. It's an amalgamation of all these things. And I can't help but feel frustrated because as big of a DC fan as I am, with the new direction of James Gunn and his DC universe, this movie tells you we could have had the best of both worlds. We could have had the DCEU and the DC. You could have had a continuation. You could have allowed Zack Snyder to make these movies. You could have allowed these characters like Henry Cavill, seeing Henry Cavill cameo as a Wolverine variant. Do you know how incredible that was? Because number one, he looks so big and he looks so cool. He can definitely play Wolverine. But do you know how depressing that was? Seeing Henry Cavill? And not only me, everybody in that movie theater went, like it was this sense of pride, joy. I mean, to see Henry Cavill, do you know how beloved this man is? I don't care if you're a Marvel fan or DC fan, everybody loves Henry Cavill, and especially as Superman and his version of Superman. To see him in this movie, I have zero doubt that he will be doing a character for Marvel. I don't know which one it is. He might even be doing multiple, because you see Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Von Doom. He might be doing multiple. See, what this has also shown is star power, because see, Ryan Reynolds, he did not punk out on giving us, I mean, A-listers. Channing Tatum, A-lister. Henry Cavill, A-lister. Wesley Snipes as Blade, A-lister. Come on now. And obviously Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. See, studios would have gone too expensive. But what has this shown? If you allow the writers to write a good movie, you give a director freedom and liberty to direct the way he wants to direct. And then you obviously have input from Ryan Reynolds, because again, this is a quintessential Ryan Reynolds movie in every aspect. If you do that, you have a hit. And when I tell you this movie is a hit, I mean, it's been a minute since I went to the movie theater and there were no seats available. And I'm the kind of person who goes to an early showing. I don't go to the like 8 or 9 o'clock. I go to like the 6:30, 7 o'clock showing. And and it's in the summer. Kids are home. It was packed to the brim. I mean, they had multiple showings, multiple theaters, but you could see a line everywhere. And this is two weeks in. I saw this movie a week in, not even the first week. Man, still, when I talk about the impact of this movie moving forward, I believe this is going to really force studios to go back to the drawing board and really, I think it's really understanding because what Ryan Reynolds decided to do for this movie is he decided to make every comic book or comic movie, every comic book fan fall in love with going to the movie theater again. Not only that, actually seeing, because again, these characters, because if you've seen, Wolverine never wore his classic suit. And it's because either because Sony owns the rights to X-Men, they decided they never wanted to. For some reason, I don't know why. They kind of teased us a while back. But I knew even then they were never going to allow us to do this. And then here comes a movie that Ryan Reynolds does, Deadpool of all movies, and he decides to do it. Gambit, all these characters you saw in their classic attires, classic uniforms, classic. But he gave us that. So studios are going to be forced to go back to the drawing board and listen to your fan base. Give the fans what they want to see, and you will get the results you want. This movie is the clearest example of a fan-made movie because it is the best ride, especially if you're a comic book fan. When it comes to a movie, I haven't been this excited to watch a movie since I saw like Batman versus Superman. I mean, seeing these two collide, this felt like that. This was that moment for me where I was like, I'm seeing this character. Not only that, I'm seeing them the way I want to see them. Brutal. I mean, the fight scenes, Wolverine fighting Deadpool. I mean, you can't beat that. So if you haven't seen it, I absolutely insist on you going to see it. And because I'm telling you, we're going to see the impact of this movie. Even movies being directed right now, I'm telling you, things are going to change moving forward. And mark my words, you're going to see it, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And if they don't embrace that, well, the shit out of luck. Anyway, thanks for coming along with me on this episode. I could go on and on about this movie, but I'm not going to draw on and on and on this movie. Just let me know in the comments if you have watched it. What did you like most about it? What did you find interesting about this movie? Are there things you're like, whoa, are you like me, where you're like, yeah, this movie actually raises a lot of questions for a lot of studios moving forward. Anyway, like and subscribe. Let's get this channel growing like it's growing right now, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next episode. Peace.